Hello and welcome to Penguin TV. It is recorded by George Efelis, aka Whiffy Penguin, and you can follow me on Twitter at Whiffy Penguin. Penguin TV is hosted by PureMTGO.com and sponsored by MTGOTraders.com. Get an 8% discount off all orders over $50 when paying with PayPal or credit card. And you can check out CapeFearGames.com and get an extra 20% off when trading paper for digital. Enjoy the videos. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Penguin TV. This week I have Dredge for you. This is a list that my clanmate, the Wild Dog, played in an event earlier in the week. I decided I liked the look of it. His had 3 Sun Titans and 3 Fate Stitchers in his version. And I believe that it was based off of the version that just won Vintage Champs at Gen Con earlier in the summer. But I like the look of it, and I haven't done a Dredge deck. And I just thought that it would be pretty powerful. So I built it up 3 days ago, and I played a couple of TP practice games. But as the event was filling up, I noticed in between 4 and 6 Dredge pilots in the event. So I real quick made a slight change. I took out a Sun Titan, a Fate Stitcher, a Nature's Claim, and a Chain of Vapor, and I added in 4 Leyline of the Voids, because I knew I was going to hit Dredge in this event at least once. So let's go over the deck. We've got Bazaar of Baghdad and Serum Powder. This is the engine that makes the deck work. This is probably the only deck in Magic where you mulligan until you find Bazaar of Baghdad. And with Serum Powder, you get to mulligan more and see more cards. If you activate Serum Powder in your first opening 7-card hand, you get to mulligan into a 7-card hand. The cards that are in your original hand get exiled with Serum Powder, but that's a risk that the Dredge deck is willing to take. It's pretty linear. Following up this interaction, we've got some mana, 3 City of Brass, 4 Undiscovered Paradises, and 3 Lotus Petals. Well, there's also 2 Dakmor Salvages, but these are the primary lands. This is part of the Dredge package. And you might be looking at the deck saying you don't need those cards for anything, but you do need them to unearth Fate Stitcher, and you do need them for your 5-color sideboard. Getting into the meat and guts of the deck, we have 12 Dredge spells, or cards. Golgari Grave Troll lets us dig 6 cards deep, and then Stinkweed Imp lets us dig 5 cards. And then Golgari Thug only is 4, and Dakmor Salvage is only 2. But the reason that Dakmor Salvage is in the deck is because of our Bloodghasts, which we will get to. So the goal of the deck is to get a Bazaar, activate it, discard some Dredge guys, and then once you untap, you tap the Bazaar to draw, let's say, Golgari Grave Troll. Hopefully he draws into another Dredge card with the 6 that you're milling, and you use that for your 2nd card from Bazaar. Then you discard your Golgari Grave Troll, whatever other 2 cards, and Dredge for the turn. Now this version is super hyper aggressive, and it's built to try and combo out on turn 2. The things that you are dredging into your graveyard are 2 Icarids, 4 Bloodghasts, 4 Narcomoebas, and then 4 Bridge from Belows, as well as all these other cards. But this is how your engine works. Dredging gives you free creatures. Just milling the Narcomoeba puts it into play. And whenever you play a land, you return all the Bloodghasts in your graveyard to play. And Dakmor Salvage just happens to be a land that you can tutor up during your draw step if it's in your graveyard. Icarid helps beat with the slow Dredge. You can just reanimate him, getting rid of maybe a Bloodghast if you don't have lands, or a Golgari Thug, and then either let it die or Cabal Therapy it away and get some Bridge from Below tokens. Bridge from Below is the reason that this deck is so broken. Bazaar of Baghdad is great and all, and Dredge is ridiculous, but if it wasn't for Bridge from Below, this deck would not be as ridiculously good as it is. Every time you sack a guy, for each bridge in your graveyard, you get to put a 2/2 zombie into play. And if your opponent ever has a real creature hit the graveyard, you have to remove your bridge from below's. So yeah, bridge from below, and then we sacrifice our free creatures with Cabal Therapy to rip apart their hand, and Dread Return to bring back one of these targets. I suppose you could also put a Golgari Grave Troll in this, as he would just be a huge creature. But if you Dread Return a Fate Stitcher, you will not get to tap at the turn it comes into play. However, if you use one of your multicolored manas, you can unearth it to untap a Bazaar. Dread Returning Sun Titan will bring back a Bazaar of Baghdad and any Bloodghast that are in your graveyard. And then Dread Returning up a Flamekin Zealot will, give all of your guys +1/+1 in haste, allowing you to eat their brains from 20 life. The deck is very easy to play in Game 1. This is not a hard deck. The goal of your Game 1 experience is to find Bazaar of Baghdad. Even if you mulligan down to one card, you're still going to win 80% of your matches, or your Game 1s. But then in Game 2 and Game 3, it becomes a completely different game. And our sideboard is, because we have the main deck Leyline of the Voids, we have 15 hate cards in our sideboard. So, Wismare, Nature's Claim, and Chain of Vapor all get rid of Leyline of the Void, which is the scariest card against Dredge. Following up Leyline of the Void is Yixlid Jailer, and these three cards will get rid of a Yixlid Jailer. Wismare and Nature's Claim also stop Oath of Druids. Firestorm also hits some of the zoo guys like Gaddock Teague, or Ethersworn Canonist, or possibly Meddling Mage. Ancient Grudge and Ingot Chewer are for the workshop matches, as well as the decks that are playing Tormod's Crypts and Pithing Needles and Spell Bombs, because you're not going to be able to use your Wismares, but your 4 Nature's Claims and your 3 red spells, Chain of Vapor, will get rid of all of your opponent's artifact hate. And then Elish Norn is hate for Dredge, and also hate for Fish. If you can resolve an Elish Norn, and they don't have a Path to Exile or a Swords to Plowshares, I see you winning pretty easily, even without access to your bridge from below's. So that's the deck, and in the event, I played against Illusions, something in round 2. And then Green, White, Black Hate in round 3. No, I'm sorry. It was Green, White. It was Good Game Oath in round 2. Green, White, Black Hate in round 3, and Dredge in round 4. So Illusions, Good Game Oath, Green, White, Black Hate, and Dredge. I'll see you guys for round 1.